context is king. And I think that's still true because context really matters in that content. I bet you've heard 1,000 times that content is king, right? And that was probably true once. With all the recycled AI generated nonsense cluttering the world, that's a little bit tougher these days. Way back in the first episode of the SaaS Fuel podcast, Neil Gordon added a letter to that whole thing of content is king. Actually, changed a letter, changed that N to an X. And he said context is king. And I think that's still true because context really matters in that content. And really, great and unique content is still awesome, just not the recycled stuff. Another lame AI post written by AI about how to use AI to make money with AI. Everyone I know does appreciate great, insightful content, though, and I try to bring that here. Even today, with the right mix of elements, a simple post can go viral, blow up, and turn into a digital sensation. But here's the kicker. I mean, going viral isn't just about luck, and it can't be manufactured on demand with a formula. It's not just science, although there's probably an AI written course out there that tells you how. Seriously, though, it is a blend of science, art, and a dash of je ne sais quoi. Yeah, that's something special. I mean, Snoop might call it the shiznizzle. I don't know what it is, but it's just something about that and it just blows up and goes crazy. It's kind of hard to figure out exactly what that is. But what we really want to do is craft content that not only grabs eyeballs, but also grips hearts and minds and leads to real measurable action. An app I use all the time does this really, really well, and that's Grammarly. Do you use it also? I mean, lots and lots of people are doing it. It's fantastic. But it's not just about correcting your grammar. They've mastered the art of engaging content also. By providing value through tips, humor, relatable examples, they've turned a tool into a conversation starter, driving both brand awareness and user growth. I mean, it's content that educates, entertains, and yes, converts. And most of us want our content to do that same kind of thing. So if we could bottle this viral formula for our own content, here's what that concoction might look like. First, we want to make sure that we know our audience inside and out. And this is where the science does come in. Dive deep into your audience's demographics, interests, pain points. And what are they trying to do? What do they want to know? What are they trying to solve? And of course, the goal is to create content that resonates so strongly with them that they can't help but engage and share. It's like crafting a message that speaks directly to their soul. Second is when unleash your creativity, kind of like Grammarly. And that is the art, finding a unique angle, even better, a unique angle that tells a story. Experiment with format, storytelling, visuals, be bold, authentic, maybe a little controversial, stir something up, but not in a negative way. I want to encourage that. But most importantly, be memorable. Whether it's a gripping video, an insightful infographic, or a witty tweet, make sure, maybe I should say a witty X tweet, I don't know. But be sure it stands out in this endless sea of content. And it's just getting to be more and more of that as well. So we have to do more to stand out. And number three is when to optimize for engagement and decide what it is you want this piece of content to do. Is it brand awareness? Is it to educate? Is it to entertain? Is it to convert? Is it to raise your authority in some way? Is it to show expertise? There's lots of different ways to do that, but optimize for that type of engagement. And this is where you fine tune that masterpiece. Use analytics to understand what works and what doesn't. And again, there's a little bit of science in here, a little bit of art, but and maybe this is the je ne sais quoi, right? Encourage interaction by asking questions, running polls, hosting challenges. Some things work really, really well with some audiences, and some that work really well with some audiences, you try them in a different audience and it falls completely flat. I've tried a bunch of things like that. And something that works in one place just doesn't work in another, which is really interesting to me. But always, always include a clear call to action. Let the audience know what it is that you want them to do. What should they do next? How do they engage? What do they do? How do they interact? And it's not just about grabbing eyeballs, it's about adding value, establishing authority, and ultimately driving results. The quest to create awesome, thought provoking content. Remember, it's not just about numbers, it's not just science. It's about creating a connection that inspires action. Unleash creativity, dive into data, and craft content that captivates and converts. So let's unleash that content that doesn't just make a splash, but creates a wave of impact. So, what content tips do you have to share? What works for you and your audience? Drop it in the comments below.